Good morning, children. This is the video for your MCB Unit 3 Section A, Rip Van Winkle. So children, this is one of the pre-reading activities that we had in the class. So the activity is like you need to close your eyes. You need to think like you had gone to sleep for at least 20 years. Like now you had slept for 20 years and now you're waking up after 20 years. That means you are waking up in future. Now you need to think like what changes would you expect to see, like when you wake up, what are the changes that you expect to see and how you will feel. So in that discussion we came across like so many of you had told like we will come across like physical changes, of course, like that 20 years transition will be there, like growing beard, dress will go shabby and uncombed hair. So like this kind of physical changes. Other than that, the changes in the surroundings, like many of you are like you wanted to see the greenery around you. Some of you are like the whole world might have been changed just now, like within fraction of second itself the world is changing. See, think about this, the pandemic situation. Nobody has expected this kind of this will come to us, but this has also happened. So forget about this 20 years, like what all things can happen in the world. And then what are the people that we know, they also might have undergone like many changes might have happened to them also. And the atmosphere might have changed, new buildings might have sprung up, and some buildings might have demolished. So there can be numerous changes in the whole world. Now we are going to learn a story of Rip Van Winkle. We are going to see a man called Rip Van Winkle in this story, and this story is written by Washington Irving. Okay, so as we always say, like this you have already told me like the story you have already learned it in 3rd standard or 4th standard. So there is nothing new in the story, but the way that you read a story is going to change. Okay, as I already told, like how you approach each character, how you see the theme of the story, so that will be different. The words will be same, the text will be same, each and that things will be, the sentences will be familiar to you, but how you read that text or how you see that text will be different. Okay, now coming to the author. So the author, the person who had written this story, his name is Washington Irving, and he was an American short story writer, essayist, biographer, historian, and diplomat of the early 19th century. So he is an American short story writer, and he is called, the writer is called as the first American man of letters. And he is the best man, he is best known for the short stories, and these two are his famous short stories, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle. Out of this Rip Van Winkle, we can see in this textbook, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. If you get a chance, you can get it from the library. Let's gear up. So this is the second pre-reading activity where you need to see this picture or look at this picture for some time, and then you need to answer these questions that are given below. Like, see, who do you think this old man is? So we had different responses, like this is a man who was sleeping for so long, a man who had gone for some vacation. There were many answers. What does the creeper around his leg suggest? So the creeper around his leg clearly suggests that the man was not at all moving for so many years. And then what do his clothes convey? So clothes also convey like the person has not even moved, or because of the passing arrival and the going of the season also he was not aware of. Okay, he was in some other world. Have you ever seen such a man? Okay, so there were some questions that you can think about it. So this slide is just a picture of Rip Van Winkle, like, and then there is a question for you people: why is he always sleeping? So children, we had already seen, like there are different elements for a story, like there will be a setting, there will be characters, there will be a plot, there will be some theme to the story. Okay, so these are the different elements of the story, so that you will be learning in story writing. So now we, like whenever you take some story, there will be a setting like the story will be the surroundings or the place where the story is taking place. Now this is a short story, and here, as it is mentioned, Rip Van Winkle is set in years before and after the American Revolutionary War in a village at the foot of New York's Catskill Mountains. So you just understand that the story is taking place in the Catskill Mountains in New York. And in that, when you read that chapter, if you had gone through that chapter also, you can see like Irving uses many literary devices. So now this literary devices is not something new to you, right? You are already familiar with literary devices. So whenever I say literary devices or poetic devices, many things will be coming to your mind. Remember antithesis, imagery, alliteration, onomatopoeia. So all these things you might be familiar. So here it is like literary devices in order to bring the story and its characters, to keep it alive, or to bring that or to get that feeling to the readers also. He uses many literary devices and happenings to life, and in a vivid and imaginative way. So we have already discussed about pre-reading activities, where we had the discussion on the about some pictures and about some sleep and everything. Now this is while reading activity. That means the activity should be conducted, or that should take place along with reading. Activity should take place along with reading. So for this, as it is clearly written, you need to create a chart that lists the name of each major characters that appears in the story. In the column next to each character's name, you need to write a few characteristics you noticed about that person. Continue adding to the chart over the course of reading. So you can make two separate columns in one page itself, like in one column, like while reading itself, whenever you come across any major character, just write the name in one column, and in the column next to each, write next to that each characters, so that characteristics. You can make two columns. In one first column it is the character's name, and the second characteristics. So characteristics. So when I say characters, so suppose in this chapter, when we start reading, you will come across Rip Van Winkle. So in the first column you will write Rip Van Winkle, and in the second column you will write whenever you find some characteristic, like as we mentioned, he is very helpful, so you will just mention the helpful. He is very joyful, so you will mention all the characteristics that you understood while reading that story. And now you will be continuing, like till the end of the chapter, you will be coming across one or other character of that person, so you will be adding to it. Okay, and continue adding to the chart over the course of reading. So children, this is the last slide in this video, and in the next video we will be coming to the story, and we will be discussing about the story, and the summary of the story will be given in the next video. Thank you.